When I started, you see me, what I had in my head was hip hop.
Yeah. Oh, no, then he loved the hip hop.
No, you see, so in my head, I didn't even have an interest in those kind of things. I was just trying to smash on chicks and bounce. There was a hard reset on my life. Very hard. And I would say it's like I started life again.
Okay.
And I realized very quickly that a lot of the things I was doing, I had no business doing. The previous day tumegonga drink, mazia asubuhi na maybe namka 11 na una Jimmy Gado missed calls, like 30 calls. I'm like, oh man, nimeanza kuharibu. Actually, I've been to rehab 3 times.
Yeah.
It's not a sad story to me. There's no stigma around it for me, and I speak on it because I feel people are dying from problems that can be solved. I saw stats from the US government, numbers I can verify. All the problems in this world are linked to lack of a father figure. Period.
And welcome to another session of the POV podcast. My name is Kaggia, and if you're joining us, this might just be one of the best episodes you've watched. Yes, the 4th episode of the POV podcast. And today, the man who brought you Banjuka. I can't believe the amount of tracks I dance to every time I think about this guy. And of course, he comes from a family that not only understands art, but has put their life out there to especially bless Kenyans. Dennis Kaggia,
Yeah.
DNA.
Bad man.
Is there anyone who calls you Dennis?
Yes, my Mzungu friends.
Yeah?
And mostly my Mzungu friends.
What were high school?
They know. Mtani, they know.
Yeah.
My siblings, Deni.
Deni ni ya madem. Deni
ilikami kakwa ya madem. Deni. Ni kama ki French fulani, Deni. But yeah, so most of my friends call me Deno. Wase wenye staki jokes now, squeezy wananiita Mr. Waweru.
Hey.
Yeah, there's levels to this game.
Hey.
Staki jokes.
Si sorry.
Hivyo.
Kwa M-Pesa inaingia?
Dennis Waweru. Mr. Waweru.
Yeah. And I was so excited. It was such a tug of war to get Dennis here. DNA, Mr. Waweru here. It was a tug of war. One day I'll share those screenshots. But for now, let's celebrate the fact that he's joining us on the POV podcast.
Because I'm about it. You see, I say wamezoea. When I say they, the way DJ Khaled says they. So they have a habit of waiting for you to do something nice.
Yes.
And then they try to elevate your ego so that they can get value for free. You're like, we have this amazing table you can stand on and talk to people. Please grace us with your presence.
Yes.
But I have my own table to stand on to speak to people.
And you created your own table for quite a long time.
I built it. Mi ndo nilipiga misumari. Mi ndo nilijenga jina yangu. So I find it ultra offensive when guys want me to go in my own pocket.
Yes.
To give them value. I feel like it's an insult to my intelligence more than anything else.
It's about time change comes, and that's why we have this big platforms. We're talking about podcasts. We're talking about TikToks. Inaitwa the revolution of Web 3. Na Web 3 inapewa say opportunity wajijenge jina yao wafanye venye wanataka.
Yeah.
They make what they need to do. And if you haven't seen DNA's TikTok, you're missing out on controversy, propaganda, the whole shebang. And before a little bit of controversy, I feel the controversy started like a month ago. I was following you back in 2022, mid-2022. Because I liked what you were talking about. It was really good because you started giving an analogy of music.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, with the formula.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was giving an analogy of music, and if you know DNA very well, working with Jomino, Refiga, you've worked with such big brands for such a very long time that to say Kenyan music without DNA it's insulting.
It's a sin.
You have to say it together.
It's blasphemous. because unajua ni vile our history as Africans has been mostly oral history because we had recorded history, a lot of it got wiped out. And of course, the version of the story we have of ourselves is written by the people who came to get something from us. But we don't map out our history as well as other people.
Yeah.
Tuseme kama muziki ya Kenya. So maybe ukiingia net hawezi ona DNA did this, DNA, but I've done a lot and continue to do a lot.
Yeah.
So the people who've been in the industry, the people who really know what's up, they know about me, but they don't like to speak about me because I am Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah, like I made beats, I've produced artists, I've managed artists, I've been an artist, I've built technological infrastructure to distribute music, but I'm not very good at being in the suit that these guys like seeing ile kijana mzuri mwenye yako the way it used to be.
Atakuja na stanners hapa na t-shirt.
Mimi. And in fact, let's do that. Stanners na t-shirt. So this whole fit is less than this whole fit is less than 2 Gs.
Okay.
This year we are shutting down status games.
Yes.
I'm DNA even if I came here in Vitambara. That's what I want people to understand.
Okay.
You call my phone, not because of what I was wearing or what I was driving.
Yes.
The value proposition guys have in their heads is upside down.
Yeah.
Like, believe in the value of you.
That's true. And by the way, I called him because of what he was saying and how you were articulating your mind. I was like, whoa, this guy is thinking differently.
Yeah. Hii t-shirt mazani nivai sana naweza kama na t-shirt ya 20k. But it's still me.
No, but it's not the same. I really don't see the difference. No. Like, who wouldn't know until you say?
Yes.
I think until you say, no one would know.
Yeah. And when you're not in position to do it, don't do it. This is what I keep telling these guys. You guys out here, DNA, I want to shoot a video, I want to do this. I tell them, bro, make 20 TikToks a day. See how that goes for you. Build real value. Historia umevaa nguo nini. This is nice.
Yeah.
But do it the right way. Build your brand, build value, then we can go to this stuff.
I like that. I want to scale back a little bit. I want to take a few steps back. You making beats, you constructing infrastructure to distribute music, you managing artists. I won't lie, I didn't know that version of you. I knew the production part. Kidogo tunilisikia hapa na pale. But because, sometimes tukiletewa ngoma kwa radio ama tuipate kwa YouTube, we really don't know. Unless you say, produced by Kate Trira, we don't know. Yeah. Unless you're shouting, produced by DNA. Tell me about that. Tell me about the production, the management, and distribution.
Yeah. So with artists are egotistical people. So for guys to feel that they are being managed by a fellow artist, produced by a fellow artist, your art director is msanii mwenzako, those things eat guys.
Okay.
And I've been in the studio with producers, we are cooking up, but by the time tunamalizia session, I know if I claim production credits for this, we're going down in flames. Because this whole person, their ego is shaped around, I'm the one who did this part of the job.
Okay.
So I realized that I should stand in the back as an architect and try to build value. I started producing. The first major artist I ever produced was Chris Kantai. Rest his soul.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yes. So I produced Kantai and J Money and started from there. Then I started to now make a lot of other music for other artists, co-production or otherwise. At Jomino, Jomino maze tulifanya kazi mingi.
Umekaa na Jomino by the way.
Jomino, that was my homie, tulisoma pamoja, same neighborhood. Yeah. So the beat for Banjuka, I didn't produce anything at all. Hiyo wacha nieke clear.
Ukweli.
That was votes. That was just his genius moment. But all through the Jomino run, I helped to structure the artists, pick out singles. Hey bro, tuandike chorus hivi. Bro, chonga mistari hivi. Let's do this. So all through, I've been making beats. I started with Kantai and then made beats for myself. Started putting collabos together.
Yeah.
When I went to Grandpa, then of course I co-produced Fimbo Chapa, Maswali ya Polisi, with Kidis Kina Kamua Leo, with J.A.
Okay.
So that whole run, wherever you see me, there's fruit. I am the fruitful tree.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. But music distribution and the system that it works, it struggles in the country so much.
Yes.
What can you say about that? Because till to date, I don't feel like Kenyans, until the introduction of Skiza tunes, it was still a struggle for people to earn. And of course, there's a big difference between vernacular singers and, urban singers. We're talking about the DNAs, the calligraphs, kama tunafanya na mtu kama Ben Githai, the numbers will always differ.
Yeah.
But when you're making the distribution system, tell me what you had in mind and how it worked for you.
First, I'm surprised.
Why?
I thought this was going to be another run of the mill. When were you born? When did you nini? Like this level of detail, nimependa. So
Google.
But nini fiti maze. So with distribution, you're right, there's two lanes. Yes. There's the urban artists wase kama sisi wenye tunaonekana sana but mapato ni kidogo ukicompare na wale wengine. So the vernacular artists have they make a lot of money from where their money really is.
Yes.
Distribution.
Yeah.
So when I came into music, I realized that distribution was an issue. Because we had big songs, but we only be eating from shows and selling t-shirts. And that doesn't really, add to the bottom line as much as it should. Na fame bila pesa ni pressure sana.
Hey.
It's hell.
Hii eburudia.
Fame bila pressure. Msaja nitoa kwa ATM, tulikuwa kwa ATM ya Equity mazile, tuko kwa line, and then this guy plugs his card in and checks some
DNA.
Do you know what he told me? Bro, ufai kuwa hapa, unafaa kuwa Stanbic manini.
Oh.
Yani ufai kuwa kwa banki ya mraia na sisi.
Okay.
Pressure. So I realized there was no money. I started to talk to some of my friends. Jaguar, who's now playing a different game. Jaguar told me, bro, tuingia River Road. Tuuze ma CD.
Okay.
Then he said, bro, hatuna mangoma mingi ati hauna album ya hits. Let's combine. So me, Juliani, Jaguar, Juakali, we put together
JJJ ni wetu ukwa J.
Nikama, yeah. So we put it together, we did a compilation CD, tukauze River Road.
Yeah.
We partnered with those guys, but there was still a lot of leakage because you can't really tell how much they've sold and all that. The River Road guys were killing it. Song ikitoka leo, wame distribute kila mahali. So when I tried doing physical distribution, but there was no visibility of the back end, mali pesa iko nini, I said I would build a system. So I started working on a system. My brother is a genius. He's the real genius of the family. I'm a pretender to the throne.
Andrew.
Yes, Andrew. Andrew and Tina actually are the real smart people in our family. Smartest.
Yeah. If you ask me. It's hard for someone to actually admit, but you can tell in your own family unajonga huyu.
Raw brains are watu wachana nao, but me najua kujirusha kwa fani.
Okay, so you and Andrew, what did you do?
So me and Andrew, we come up with a distribution platform. We said the breakthrough thinking was, what are the pirates doing? Why is the government fighting piracy? Why don't we just clone the pirate system? So my bro and I, we got together. We looked for developers in the Ukraine who built for us a software system that would distribute music to flash drives, to memory cards, burn CDs, burn DVDs. And once it creates the media, it sends a text to MCSK that shows the logging.
Okay.
Yeah, so we built this from scratch. I used my own money, like it was crazy. And so we got to the end of it. Approvals at MCSK worked out. Artists are full of shit. So I was calling artists directly, bro, wacha nikusign, I have this distribution platform. Msana kufanya ile. You see the thing I told you about managing artists, they don't want to feel another artist is on top of them.
Yeah.
Even with distribution, I found this problem. I talked to a lot of these big artists and they kind of blew me off.
And you were giving them a solution. So they couldn't see the solution. They just saw it's DNA.
Yani ati umse sasa nitasainiwaje na umse. Na sasa mimi na push nilikuwa naenda Dar es Salaam by bus every couple of weeks. Have you gone to Dar es Salaam by bus?
No.
You leave at 6, you get there at 8.
Asha. No, thank you, please.
6 in the A, unafika huko 8.
Unaenda kufanya nini Dar es Salaam?
Distribution. Because mziki yetu inafanya fiti huko. Huku soko inanigonga. Let me go there. I went there, talked.
That's umenikumbusha. That's true. There is a time the tables were flipped. Bongo wasn't big in Bongo. It was Kenyan music that was big.
We were kings. Tulikuwa tunaingia huko, man, I've played for 40,000 people in Tanzania.
Yo!
CCM Kirumba. Unaingia stage, una panic kidogo. Yani, I'd never seen anything like that. So the love was real. I went there. I'd been told about these Waindis who were manufacturing CDs in Tanzania, not printing. They were actually making the CDs there. So I thought we can cut deals with these guys. Nilienda huko nikagonga gongwa. I realized Tanzania is also a very, I say they smile with everybody. Okay. But they always remember that they are Tanzanians.
They're loyal to their flag.
And you will remember you are not a Tanzanian.
Ooh, yes, that's true.
Yes. Ni waseani wako na culture, social, but wanaji protect. I really wish we could do that more.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go to Tanzania, tried there, didn't work. At the end of it it all. We built the system, and the hard time I had with getting it to go was because in Kenya, the cyber cafes had been beaten so much through the piracy raids. They were afraid to touch Kenyan music.
Okay.
So I would go to guys, tell them, bro, ndio computer, iko na mziki za Kenya, ndio license ya MCSK. We kazi yako tu msea kikama nataka kwa flash ama nini mweke. But almost everybody was afraid because they had been hammered so much. There was a big scam sometime back in Kenya where people would go to the cyber cafes, plant Kenyan music, and then go with police later and raid the cyber cafe and say, hey, mkona local music.
Kuliko kubaya.
Arrest them, take their computers, get them to pay some money ndio ishe. So it became too gangster for people to want to deal with Kenyan music. You're busy likufia hapo.
But it was a very good effort, by the way.
It was the precursor to Spotify, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you know what? The thing about ideas and making them is that they will always come in a different way, and you can do it better when the time comes.
Yes.
Ideas are always revolving around us. They don't potea really. They come in a different form, and now because now you have more knowledge.
Yes.
And now you have more machinery, you're in a better place to make better decisions than then. I like that. And I think it's very hard to find musicians who find the problem in music and want to fix it. I think one of the only people I've seen do that is Nadia Mukami. She's one of the few artists who have gone out of her way to now, other than just singing, she wants to understand management, she wants to understand the business. And shout out to Nadia for that.
I met her once. I realized she was a serious person.
She's focused. She's very focused. Now, kugongwa kwa hii town. Najua umepatana na patapotea. Sisi kama umepata
watu wako kwa TV saa hii wenye tunaonanga saa.
Sema jina.
Na ni wezi.
Sema jina. Usiogope, I will protect you.
Hii lugha unajua swaga tunaisafisha na hiyo kitu si poa. Corruption, what is corruption? Stealing. Ni kuiba. I swear if you are writing on the newspapers, so and so stole 700 million. This shit would be over.
If you don't glamorize it.
Yani muna soften ndio ikwe palatable kwa mraia. You do so that
embezzled funds.
Embezzled ndio kusema nini? You ndio kusema nini? Ebu andika hapo so and so stole 500 million uone movie.
Because that's what they did.
Uone movie. People will be in his house where boss ido iko happy. But the political class play a different game.
Tell me so about
kugongwa kwa industry in this industry mimi nimegongwa. Nimegongwa na watu wengi. Mimi ndio nilikuwa fala. Actually, ukigongwa it's your fault.
You think so?
You have to pay the cost to be the boss. Lazima upitie. So mimi nimegongwa na of course promoters, people telling you these fake promises. I'm not an angel myself. So I don't want to like say this person is a thief, this person is a thief. But I'll say generally in entertainment there's a culture of if I can get one up on you, I will. So
there's a culture to swindle.
Iko hapo. Na ni wase unaonaga hapo unasema god damn, msanii amenidu hivyo. But then there's also a culture of silence because unaona msanii anaweza kuchomea place fulani. So unasema wacha niache. So guys are booking gigs, 2-3 gigs in a row with people who are stealing from them. But mimi ni maskini jeuri bro. So mimi nimetoka kwa hiyo shift. I don't play that game. I'd rather spend my 2 hours making TikToks for myself than do some bullshit that guys are doing.
I hear you, but I hate the fact that we don't have that culture of just being clean with each other. But it's not in this country. It's everywhere. It's just because we're living in this country. Tukienda kwa zingine hata wako na stories zao za kizungu, za Kiswahili, za Kifrench. You know, everyone is having their own issues in their different realm. You know, but there's a beautiful thing I like every time when I sit with someone and I feel like they are growing as a person. And before we went on air, y'all don't know, Dina, you mentioned that you chose not to partake in alcohol or be in that craziness. And I can imagine at the beginning of your career, man, that was the hype. You're called to a club, come, tunakulipa 50K come, turn up, tunakulipia drinks, there are gonna be girls, that life and this one, that DNA and this DNA, what happened? What did you see when you were doing Banjuka that if now you were to give it the same chance? What did you see? Let me just understand. What did you see to make you change?
To be honest, I didn't want to change. I was forced to change.
Okay.
winners win and losers lose. Malimi nimefika sahi. This is what I accept. I no longer believe in potential. I no longer believe in things that are unproven. Winners win, losers lose. I had to choose between winning and losing. And alcohol, guaranteed, was chopping me down. So the problem was that I started drinking too early.
And at a young age.
Yeah, young age. So the first, I bought a drink for myself, nikiwa standard 8, maze. But you know me, I'm from the old school, so you could walk into a bar and buy a drink.
But you were not that tall. Class 8 huko mrefu hivyo.
The counter was here. Nimetoa do nikaweka do.
Mtoto wa class 8 ni mdogo.
Nimeka juu hata hakukuwa na hiyo regulation. I don't even know what I'm buying really. So the lady looked at me and said nipe hiyo. Sasa nimeangalia tu so ni hizi pombe za gunia when we still used to pack liquor in sachets. Nipe hiyo.
Yes, that's a long time ago.
Akanipea sachet ya gin. Nikaingia nayo mtaani, I walked back, nikaipiga.
Mtaani wapi bebe?
Ngong, 111.
Karibu niseme Rongai.
111 Ngong. I went to school in Rongai, Nazareth.
Okay.
Yeah, but I grew up in Ngong. So nikaingia home, nikapiga ka mixing na juo, nikagonga. Life ikaendelea, kuna msali notice, nikasema, okay. Kumbe ni hivyo. So that was my first experience. When I went to high school, then I started to really drink nikiwa form 3, form 4. And out the gate, I could drink more than everybody.
Okay.
And it really made me, I really wanted it more than everybody. So later I came to learn that pombe kama inakupandisha hivyo sana, it means you shouldn't drink. It means there's a chemical imbalance that will make the need for alcohol habitual in your life.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really went hard from when I was a teenager, nikimaliza form 4, pombe. Then now when I blew up, you see, before you blow up, lazima kuwe mpole pia unado.
Yeah.
But now when you become DNA,
pesa zimeiva.
At on top of pesa, people want to be around you.
Yes.
Companies.
The girls events. Want your stories.
My G, mimi nilifurahia Mr. Kuchitu.
Umekula hii town?
History yenyu ya ati waliovuma guys sitting in someone saying, I wish jack shit. I had a blast, bro. Mimi nimeharibu. Do you know what it means? Ati wewe ni kijana wa Ngong maze, tulikuwa tunakota fegi kwa rodi.
Kai.
Ndo tutoe moshi mbili maze. Alafu sasa maze, pombe haziishi, madema waishi, your phone is blowing up.
Gari unakuja kuchukuliwa nayo?
My friend, it was heaven. It was heaven. Staku cheat. I had an amazing time. I saw life at levels that are unbelievable. So mimi nilienjoy, nilikunywa pombe, madem, everything, all the good life. Mimi nimekula yote.
Umeionja?
But now I realize that life is seasons.
Okay.
Tumeuziwa straight line.
Yes.
You get money, become rich.
Go to school.
No, life is seasons. So your season ya kutesa mimi nilitesa. My friends, even my rich friends tell me, bro, honestly, while we were working day jobs, you had a blast, bro.
Yeah.
Very well.
How old were you then?
I blew up when I was 25.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a ripe age.
20. Yeah, I quit school at 20, turning 24. 25, we had gone.
Yeah.
We're famous.
Hitting the charts.
We have hits and we have money. Both. So ujuile kuharibu. Sasa ni kwanza kuingia tao maze Robs anachukua, hey bro, you know now you can't drink in these normal places. Si tumezoea baya tu. Tunasema no, umekuwa mse, hey let's go to Jockey Pub. Ndio kuna buy beer so tatu. Unasema niggas are playing the piano.
Yeah.
Mkanyaga carpet na uko ndani ya bar. Unasema okay, this life has levels, bro. So we enjoyed, we had a great time, destroyed a lot of hotel rooms.
Did you destroy hotel rooms? Ulikuwa na do?
Maze, yani tumelipa mabill za ujinga. Yani unajua nini, yani uko na mbogi, mko na madem, it's just chaos. Chaos.
It was good chaos. It was celebration.
We had fun. It's only my neighbors who hated me, but yeah, it's life. So we had a good time. But it became too heavy. Unakunywa pombe sasa inaanza kuwa inaharibu. The first major interview I remember missing ilikuwa Jimmy Gathu had an interview or he was on Citizen, I think. It was the biggest breakfast show in the world, Maze.
Yes, I remember that. Was it Citizen or was it Nation?
One of those platforms.
I think it was Nation. Yeah.
The previous day tumegonga drink Maze asubuhi na maybe namka 11 na una Jimmy Gathu missed calls like 30 calls. Oh man. Nimeanza kuharibu. But sasa iko kwa damu, so you can't stop. So just keep going. Then it got to the point where now I started to get hospitalized.
Okay.
Yeah, I was drinking in the house. Was Tina there? Maybe Tina was there. Tina was there. Maybe one of my girlfriends was there. I got a seizure in the house.
How do you get a seizure? What happens? Do you fall down? What happens when someone has a seizure? I think I've seen it for someone who is sick, they had cancer, but I don't know how it is for someone who's taken alcohol.
And the seizures for booze are the same, just like Nini, and they put you on epileptic meds after.
So you're foaming, your eyes, it's okay.
So nimeingia kwa nyumba, I'm with my housemate, nimeenda kwa shop, nimerudi, nimebeba tei, a 6-pack and a mzinga. And then he looks at me and he's mad. He's saying, bro, hujakam na food.
Oh, sure.
But to me,
booze is important. Yeah, hii ndio maana kwanza.
But I hit a booze, alafu nikafeel, niaje na try kunikataa. But mi nimse watu tuende. So naigonga inaingia. I started feeling my body inanikataa. Nikaingia kwa bedroom. Then I felt funny. Next thing, Dema me scream. Then I tried to stand up and then I saw a bright light. That was it. Next, nakumbuka wasome nipeleka hosi kina UB Kitosh, many guys. Tina was there, I think. So after that, then the doctor told me, hey bro, ita sasa itakuwa bro, you need to stop. Then you stop for 2 weeks, you keep falling back and forth because it's really grabbed you.
Okay.
So I did what I had to do. Like we said, winners win, losers lose. So I did what I had to. Eventually I went and got help. But me, I'm a champ.
Okay.
I don't give up without a fight. Nikarudi kwa pombe.
Bado uliko kwa baa kidogo.
Ikabidi bado tu like a champ nimeenda kutafuta help. So I've gone to rehab a couple of times.
Okay.
Actually, I've been to rehab 3 times.
Yeah.
It's not a sad story to me. There's no stigma around it for me, and I speak on it because I feel people are dying from problems that can be solved.
I like that.
Yeah, so please guys, kama drugs inakushinda, just go to rehab. There's no shame in the game. Ni hosi too. Just go get cleaned up. So my season now, alcohol is not my thing.
Yeah.
I go to bars very rarely. I accept my age. I accept my position in society.
Yeah.
I accept that my children look to me and see God's face, and those things mean something. So I must conduct myself in a certain way. I still act a fool
when you need to,
but kuna hawezi nikuta nikidu kama before.
Yeah. I like that. I think there's a lot of shame that comes to agreeing that you gave up and that you fall. There's a lot of shame in saying, man, I messed up.
Help.
Especially for a man.
Yeah.
Saying you need help. Who is that one person that you would tell that you needed help? That you remember that this is a guy by the niko pabaya.
So at first we were all lost. So
okay.
But my friends would tell me, hey bro, niaje. But pia when you're financier, when you're the boss,
so hawezi sema.
Wasanaogopa kukuambia, you can cut off the supply also, So guys are afraid to be too honest with you.
Yeah.
But I knew I was messing up. My parents would, maze wamepitia maze. Yeah, so my parents would tell me, oh this, but me siwasikii. So eventually, when I tried to stop and I couldn't stop, I would say my whole family helped me.
Okay.
But over the course of the last few years, then there's a friend of mine called Jean, a Bulgarian guy.
Yeah.
This guy is the oracle maze. Anakuangalia anakuambia bro, ni hivi na ni hivi. Also Robert Masharia. These are older guys. My dad. Then of course I have my colleagues, my age mates. I would say because my head is so hard, it's a sum total of a lot of people who have poured love and time into me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they've been patient also with you.
Yeah. A lot of people, yes.
Do you think that men have that? Because a lot of men have those friends that, we're buying nani si ni deno na buy leo so tunaenda naye. So we see our friend mess up, but we're all in the same circle. And there's one thing about, I think a lot of men need someone to look up to.
Yes.
It's necessary that men have someone to look up to. That's why the story about fathers is very essential to have.
Yes.
Do you feel like Kenyan men especially, because I feel like wase ukwa niko kwa mbogi ya DNA. Hakunanga mse ati mimi ni DNA. Watu wengi wako mbogi ya.
Ni mafollower.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think our life is like an onion. And you have to understand the layers of the onion. And you have to keep your real friends very close. in society. We'll play the politics, we'll play the games. Kuna mabeste wa pombe, kuna mabeste real. But when you're caught up in the lifestyle, and especially when you're stressed out and not thinking, you think everybody is your friend. So you think everybody is like this. Unakunywa sana, umsana kunywa sana, unasema, kwa hivyo wase ukunywa sana, this is normal. So you don't have those guys. My first mentors were internet mentors. I looked around me and everybody was like me. I said, this is bullshit. So I started to look for people online. I found Tony Robbins, Brendan Bouchard, what's this guy called? Miles Monroe.
The late
Miles Monroe.
Amazing.
So I was looking for breakthroughs. Nani ipombe itatoka aje? I remember sitting in my office, my head is blasted. You know, when you stop drinking at once, it's like hauko fiti kwa kichwa. So they tell you, see a doctor when you're trying to quit alcohol. It's not a joke. So I'm blasted. I'm saying, what's the way out of this hell, maze? Nikapata kitu ya Miles Monroe. And then it led me to the first guy who ever got cancelled. He's called Louis Farrakhan.
Okay.
He was the first guy to ever get cancelled on the internet because of anti-Semitism. And he's the leader of they're called the Nation of Islam. So they're a sect of Islam, but they have their own nikama denomination flani.
Okay.
And this guy, Louis Farrakhan, was mentored by Elijah Muhammad, who seemed to have a skill in bringing men to their best, because he mentored Ice Cube, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, so many great men. And when I met that message, for some reason, nearly feel, there's hope here.
Wow.
Maybe I can get out of this booze, because I was in between booze and pills.
Okay.
Ndio pombe shuke unapiga nini hizi mapombe za kurelax, tembe za kurelax mwili.
This one gun?
Like Valiums, and stuff like that on prescription. But you start to abuse it.
Yeah, because you still want to, you want the buzz to stay.
You want the buzz, and when alcohol is going down, it's so painful. It wrecks your body and your mind. So sasa unaanza kuwa mse, unapiga tei, unatry kuacha tei, unapiga tembe. Sasa unaanza kuingia kwa dunia ya addiction vizuri. But when I found this message from Louis Farrakhan, I was like, man, this makes sense. You can be sober. And he was a strong man. He had this image that just grabbed me. And I started on this journey of trying to be sober, and I followed the messages of the Nation of Islam. And somehow along the way, sobriety ikaanza kushika. I had a psychedelic experience with my friends in Mombasa. And that changed my life forever. We dropped acid on the beach. And I started to feel I had control. Psychedelic therapies are frowned upon. They are not... In the public sphere, psychedelics are hated on. But
now they're getting momentum.
It's getting more,
Yes. Right now they're getting a lot of momentum.
And I don't think I could have made it out of my addictions without psychedelic therapies. So that's what kind of my journey has been.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, there's something so beautiful when you see people in their different versions. I'm like, wow, it's great to see you on the other side. I tell my friends sometimes when we're always talking, I'm like, if you see the other version of yourself, the healed, the restored, the better version, it's more beautiful.
Give yourself time.
You know?
Growth takes time. I was talking to Ska wa Cardinali, and these are young guys, but one could drop here. Wisdom. So, Ska, how did you do this? Time. And then it reminded me of Bien also. I used to talk to Bien. I used to hang out with Bien a lot.
Mnafanana, I'm a bald man.
In fact, we were meant to do an album together. So before it was him and Aaron, it was me, him, and another guy who kind of messed up the mix. So Bien is a good guy. Bien is a genius. It's very few people who have a CEO mind and are also creative geniuses and also have the people talent ya kushikanisha watu. So Bien is one of those guys. Sky is also one of those guys.
And still be humble with it.
Bien, and if Bien was to switch on niggas, he can. And
because he is that guy.
Yani mo na watu mnatembea na mabodi na sema umbu wa nyinyi. Nyinyi mnatembea na mabodi ndio nyinyi. Yani nyinyi nani? What have you done in this life ndio utembee na mabodi, bro? Bien is the business. And he's still a human being, you know. So with Sky and with Bien, both of them keep talking about time. Give yourself time. Give yourself time. Even when you're hating yourself, going through battles like, I hate who I am. I hate that I can't control myself.
I feel like you're talking to me.
Time. Mbegu ukiekwa chini, ndio ikue mmea. Time.
Time.
Give yourself time. Treat yourself like someone you respect and admire. Never hate yourself. There's no other you. Today is a bad day. Today you can't roll out of bed. Today you are drinking. Today you slept with someone who you didn't mean to. Today. It's okay. Be accountable. Forgive yourself. Be gentle with your soul.
Yeah.
The world is already trying to show you ain't shit. Be gentle with your soul.
Yeah.
And the day will come when this darkness will turn into light.
I like that. But even as we're taking time, there's a culture that we've grown in, especially for women. We've had it. We're told by the time you turn 30, it's good for you to have kids. Your eggs will start falling off, all those kind of nonsense. And then even for you guys, it's not really true about the egg thing.
Okay.
But I'll tell you that because me, I'm a girl.
Yeah.
For you guys, it's by the time a man is also 30, he needs a family, needs a home. You lazima kumejenga. We cannot deny
milestones zingine zenye sijui zilitoka wapi. Does it make sense?
But we cannot deny that time moves.
Yes.
I won't lie, there's something that makes me feel so bad sometimes when I see nikiona mtu mzee kwa matatu, ni heartbreak mbaya.
Kukua mzee bila pesa.
Yeah.
Is the worst thing in the world.
You know, so naona msee wa 60 ako kwa matatu na mimi mtu wa kawaida ama mtu mdogo nikijisema, I'm like, as much as we say we've got time, do we really have time?
Wow, this is a very philosophical question. True. Okay, so kukua kwa mat si vibaya.
Okay.
Kukua kwa mat ina hurt ule msee anajua hafai kuwa kwa mat. Kuna msee roho yake inamwambia, bro, ulichoma, hufai kuwa hapo, unafaa kuwa kwa hii range.
You know?
That is hell. Acha na hiyo hell yoko chini. Ndio hiyo hell. Ile, you blew it. You drank the time away. You partied the time away. You blew the money that came your way. Your heart tells you, bro, this should be you. Msee mwenye, that was not him. He's okay. Msee mwenye maybe ametoka kwa poverty level ingine, yani maybe kwao hata kuna msee ashaisoma.
Hata kuna matatizo za kuja Nairobi.
Msee kwa mat is okay.
Okay.
But what I would tell you, being old is okay. Being broke is okay. Don't be old and broke. You'll cry. Utalia. My friend, mimi nikafuata nimeguza. Already nishaanza kuextrapolate, unaona wow, Buddha hii maisha ni kucost do ingine, and so now I have to work with the time I have. But when you're young, kuna time ya kuchoma. Youth is wasted on the young. God ndo anajua mbona iko hivyo. Kuna time ya kulipua. But once you have the conviction in you that the season has changed, change with the season.
Very fast.
Yeah.
You need to move with the times as well.
Yeah, so poverty is not kind at all. We don't invest along the way. Sisi mimi na wewe na kila mse kwa hii room na tuko kwa hii culture ya consumerism.
Yeah.
And it's a very dangerous culture. That's why everybody ends up at waliovuma. You're famous, you're popping, you have opportunities, but you're in the consumerism culture, so you never knuckle down to do something meaningful. You're riding on moments that you create instead of building value.
Yes.
I interviewed Tony Mpole the other day, this guy for Mr. Snacks. Very nice.
Kituambia sasa ni wakati wa kukula snacks.
Uyo mse alinibreakia down kitu fulani.
Yeah.
Nikasema, this guy is a genius.
Why does he insist on us just living frivolously? Let's enjoy ourselves.
But tujipange. So he has a shop in Rumuruti.
Yes.
Your place Maliana shoot. That's his actual shop. So we did a song, me, him, and Motif Didon. Okay. So when we were doing the split sheets, I had to go to Nanyuki to get him to sign it.
Yeah.
And then he came down to Nairobi and I interviewed him, and he broke something for me. He showed me how most people are paralyzed by their level of education. That your education has messed you up, haijakusaidia. Because uko na degree, huwezi gonga mayai.
Huwezi.
Because uko na degree,
ama ni pepete mahindi.
Huwezi push senke.
Na hizi makucha.
Imagine.
Aje?
Because of your level of exposure and education. Mse hana hizi maburdens uko nazo is a very straight line. Niko na njaa, niko na 5 Gs. Wacha nikauze mask.
Cha muhimu
nisilale njaa. Sisi tuko paralyzed. Yani mi vile niko famous, bro. Niggas are sitting in the house for months protecting brands. Niggas are broke Wase hawana kitu, but do your brand because of maybe whatever brand may be in this case, your level of education, your successes, your yesterdays.
Maybe where you live.
Huwezi fanya kitu yenye itakutolea shida uko nayo because it is beneath your status.
But is it really beneath if you're hungry?
People see okay, now this might be a sticky topic, but a lot of guys wanajinyuria juu ya depression.
Kunyuria ni kufanya?
They're deleting themselves. So guys are deleting themselves because they are depressed and stressed. But where did the depression and stress come from? Your inability to provide for yourself and for others. This inability to provide for yourself and for others, most times you're not looking at it plainly. You're saying, this is the job, this is who I've been. Nilikuwa na hii wera, sasa wera imekatika. Oh my God, what shall I do? For Tony, what he was saying was, you guys are paralyzed by education, by exposure. It's very simple. You don't have money. Where's the money? How do I make money today? Simple.
Have you ever done an odd job yourself?
Of course.
What odd job did you do?
Let me talk about the legal stuff.
The illegal utasema, I will protect you. I keep telling you, I will protect you. Usijali. Hizo ni mistakes za zamani. And then the law is progressive, not retrogressive. Haitakupata for the things you did.
Hizi mablogs za ujinga maze, all the good work we do, the only thing they write about is what gives them clicks. So let me talk about things I've done. So my first hustle ever. God damn, ilikuwa hustle chafu.
Kulikuwa chafu aje?
Hapana. So, okay, the first real money I made was in music.
Okay.
Prior to music, I had a job. I had a job. So I have something for you. So I worked for a company called Glimmer World. I was a DJ and photographer sometimes. And of course, running around. So that was on weekends when we were activating. Weekdays, and when we were doing those things, the main thing was selling SIM cards. Would sell SIM cards at activations.
Okay, and that time it was very lucrative?
No, see, I'm not getting commissions.
Okay.
Nalipo ile ya daily. So that's what I started with. There was nothing really serious before that. Then I got into graphics very heavily, designing business cards.
Nice.
Designing business cards, portfolios for guys. Then I got into 3D with my bro. My bro went and became the genius with that, but I was also in it, so I did a bit of, let's say, building in a Jangwa, and they want to know what it will look like before it gets built. Projects like that.
I like that.
Yeah, so either two touch and go until finally when the music took off. When the music took off from there, then everything became music.
Okay, I like that. It's always good sometimes to put your energy where you feel your heart is at and it's working and it's good. I can imagine you've put your heart out there one or few times. There's no way you can end up being a dad without putting yourself out there.
Being a dad?
Yes. And I want to know, have you ever, thought about settling down or being with someone? What is that? How does DNA work in such a space? Because you talk business, you talk work, that's every time I hear you, most of the time that's the conversation. But we don't see this romantic side of DNA. Deno lazima. Wasi walikuwa sema kutita Deni.
Romantic. Me nilianza vibaya. When I started, you see me, what I had in my head was hip hop. So my whole thing.
Oh, nadhani love the hip hop.
No, you see, so in my head, I didn't even have an interest in those kind of things. I was just trying to smash on chicks and bounce. Okay. Yeah, okay. I didn't care much for that. I've met lovely women in my life. Man, I have.
Nikawa naanza kuja akina.
I've met very amazing women. I've been in long-term relationships. Sadly for me, I don't get to have the whole plate.
Okay. Why?
I think it's who I am. I think maybe I'm too wrecked to be... No, it's not that I'm too wrecked.
Maybe
I'll say what Kibe said.
Okay.
The sensei.
Sensei. Ati who?
The sensei.
Oh, because all of you are bald. No.
Kibe is an OG because of his work ethic first. So
I'll roll my eyes all day.
No. You see, one thing you can't hate on is the grind. Somebody who can wake up every day and deliver, there's something good he's doing. We can disagree on the content, but on the work ethic, we agree.
Kwa kazi, amefanya kazi poa.
Yeah, Kibe kuna tema alisema hizi stories za love ni za watu naive. Wase wajaenda wakigulagula kila mahali, watu wajaenda wakibrekiwa mahat, wakibrekiana.
Me, I actually say I wanted to do a vlog about it. I feel wase wa vienye jema wa shags. Their love is so pure, it's simple, it works.
And they haven't been around too much.
I'm like, do I just go Ushago and just, because there it works, you know?
Yeah.
So you feel like it wasn't working for you?
I feel like for me, I knew too much. I was too experienced to be in a pure relationship. I was impure. So now the sad part is that I'm not able to give all my children what I'd love to give them, which is to see them every day, nini. But life comes how it comes, and I don't believe any sijioni nimeishi na dem ati holding hands walking into the sunset. I don't see it for myself.
Why? Even now, after all this, self-actualization, kujijua, you still don't see it?
The more I look at myself now, I think maybe my energies are too potent to be with one person.
The issue is one person?
Like, I'd give them hell.
So if you had multiple people, it would work?
But now multiple people, the problem of having many relationships, and guys, these legal marriages, chunganeni, the thing with giving people attention and time. You see, this head is like a shamba, yani iko na pieces. So somebody comes, kuna mtu ako hapa, kuna shares hapa, kuna mtu akona shares hapa. It's too much. And there's things I need to do.
Okay.
So the children come first at all times.
I like that.
I'll speak on the mother of my daughters,
yes.
Mama Tugi, Mama Wendo. She's made it easy for me to be a dad, regardless of circumstances. I made a video the other day and then I found her lawyers. Yani wamama wamekuwa ma lawyers kwa comments wanaongea ni kama nimetusi Mama Tugi, Mama Wendo. Hey, women have gone after mothers and me I'm just talking about.
Even me, I was mad. DNA said, fathers are way more important than. I was like,
oh yeah. Oh, but we can speak on that.
I was like, skr. Ngoja kidogo. Because tukipigia Mama Waweru, asikie kenye umesema.
Hata yeye anajua. Wacha nikwambie ukweli. Ile ukweli wasa watai kusikia. Wacha nikwambie ukweli. Mtoi akisha download ndo huyu. Baba ndio kila kitu. I saw stats from the US government, numbers I can verify. All the problems in this world are linked to lack of a father figure. Period. Everything in this world you can see that is going wrong. Lack of father figure.
Father figure.
Father or father figure. Just kila mse akona father. So me I've seen it for myself, all the damage that comes from that, which is why I'm now so military and divine about children and about children having a good environment to thrive in. So mimi relationships, maybe I'll just play this game till the end like Risky Ruby. God bless him. Umsali spoil. When I was young, they always said, Kiruvio, Modo Yatida.
He had a good time.
That nigga bald. I trying to go hate. Nimko relationship kwa moja. These niggas lie. You see, they all lie. And lying is a part of life, I guess. But I see all these destroyed guys out here pretending everything is all good, but mi najua. Ile maisha wanaishi ni uongo. Na mnafundisha watoto wenyu kuwa waongo.
By the way.
Mi nimefail vitu mingi, but one thing I will not fail. Sitadanganya watu wangu life iko hivi na iko hivi. They ask me hard questions. Dani mbona leo sija kucheki? Niaje. The truth is, mini buda yao. And it's my job regardless. Okay. And since I don't have problems intervening in my children's lives, mi nitaendelea na style naishi.
I like to hear that. There's a big narrative about being a dad and actually being there. But there's
being there. Let's talk about
being
that.
A dad and being there.
And being there is not as important as being a dad. You can be a dad without being there all the time. Actually, most dads are there all the time, but they are very poor dads. A weak dad and an absent dad. Same what's up.
That I agree with you 100%. A weak father and an absent father.
Same. And shout to Americs for that. You must espouse strength of character and virtue when you are with your children. You'd rather see them once in a month than be a guy who is coming home confused, direct, dynamic to ambio, umechanganyikiwa. no, watoto wanaona Mungu wakikuona. I used to be a confused dad.
Yeah.
Now, I wish the time I was with them every day, that I would have been who I am now. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not the time now.
But you see, the good thing is that you have time now to build more. Yeah. You see, they're still a little bit younger, so you still have a lot of time to do a lot more.
Yes.
How did you deal with loss? Because I can imagine how that would hit you as even a man, losing someone you love so much, so close to home. How do you deal with it? How do you come out of it? And how did that whole thing happen?
So I don't really like to speak on Jamal and how that went, because it sends me off the deep end sometimes. But I saw Jamal's mom the other day, and it gave me peace knowing that none of us could have changed the outcome.
How did Jamal leave? How did he pass?
It was a drowning incident at school. It was so like sometimes I see guys like, the things I've been through.
Yeah.
I really now do not have space for falsehoods. It hit me very hard towards the end of last year. This year, like, bro, you can let people play with you. I don't let anybody play with me now. My son, like, that was everything.
I can imagine, yeah.
Kuna vitu unnatural sana kama kulose mtoi. But here we are.
Yeah.
And after losing Jay, I nearly lost my other kids because of drowning in the grief and the hell that comes with that.
Yeah.
But this world is like, so for men, what's a good analogy? It's like driving a car. Umengia gari for your first time in your life. You're being driven by somebody. Umengia passenger. Umengia tu.
Yeah.
Ujapiga belt. This guy is driving, gets to 80, 90, 100 kph. Aonekitu slams on the brakes. You, poof, umegonga dashboard.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have a safety belt. The forces of nature don't care that it was your first time in the car and that you didn't know to wear a belt. That's how life works.
Shit.
Your preparedness or lack thereof is meaningless. So all the things I've gone through in my life, life does not care
whether
that you are ready or not. Life doesn't care. So for men, my whole philosophy now is everything is your fault. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And if you have seed on the ground, be there for them regardless. Najua mlio madem mwenye mwezani now.
Hata nyinyi ni wagumu.
We all marry too young. Africa, this is the disease.
You think we marry young?
First, we should not be choosing marriage partners for ourselves. It's a very wrong premise. Absolutely. Marriage is business. Marriage is not romance. This stuff is barely 50 years old. Marriage has been business for thousands of years. We are increasing the number of our community. We're having children. Mimi na wetu na sasa inaenda na kwa naambia budako. Hata ati nikwambia tiketi nimekuchizi. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. I talk to my uncles.
Uncle ndio ataenda kusema. Yeah.
So that the old guys who have the vision wanasema hii inaweza kubali. This girl, like now you just told me, you come from a 2-parent setup.
Yeah.
So my uncle, you tell me that udema ametoka family mzuri. She knows what it is to see a man being served food. She knows what it is to play a feminine role. Yani hizo mavitu.
Yeah.
Sisi bro tuko hapa tumegonga tei tumekutana kwa club dema kona haga
mimi
nimesteady tumekulana alafu imeanza kukuwa ni vibes.
Okay.
And then you get into a long-term relationship. The premise is wrong. I think we marry too young. I think we are already whitewashed and brainwashed. For me, all the young guys now tell them stop. Look at this thing later. Establish who you are and establish a financial presence in this world.
Yeah.
Then you can take someone and take care of them. But we are hopping into long-term relationships off of the wrong premise completely.
You think
and that's
so?
where they're all failing.
You think so?
I'm certain.
You see, the thing, I could have settled down much earlier. But the thing about, especially for women, why women should settle early. I'm saying this as someone who did not settle as early. I'm not late either, but I'd have been early if I wanted. Is that when you become too wise, when you know the games too much, it's harder to fool. So that's why sometimes people I would encourage sometimes girls, I'm like, if you find someone, fungeni hiyo chapter mapema because ukika nje sana utakuwa mwerevu au utaweza kudanganyika.
Sasa wenda kushow nini? Wenda kushow nini? Yani
hakuna.
My G. Wewe sasa nisema tuacha nipeleke udem coast. hata hakuna kukufurahisha nimekufurahisha. Do you see?
Yeah.
But if I take a kienyeji who is like 21 mazena budake ni hambo alafu nimwambie tupande SGR. Kichwa yake imelipuka kama bomb. Yeah. Experience prevents us from having relationships. That's what I was saying Sensei said. Yeah. The innocence, the naivete is part of the recipe for long-term relationships to work. Yeah. Mimi sasa zile vitu nimefanyia madem na zile vitu madem wamenifanyia. When I meet a chick out the gate inside my heart nimedu hivi.
Unataka nini wewe?
Nimeanza kumchambua.
Your guard is up.
Yeah, but you see, when we were young, you know, but when I was young, I had nice relationships, man. Like, I can't regret. Like with my daughters, like, you know, with my son, like I had a good time. I didn't know a lot. Yeah. Now, if I ever, and I've been telling my guys, bro, ukisikia nimekwambia sijui tunafanya nini. Go hire a sniper. Here, bro. Before that day, make sure it hits me here.
It's possible. It's possible. Night town, it's very possible.
Unajua kuishi na dem ni nini wewe?
Mimi ni dem, unajua kusema.
Unajua kuishi na dem ni nini wewe?
Sijui.
Kuishi na dem requires it requires you to be a real man. Kuishi na dem, it needs you to be a real man. And most of us out here, we're just now putting our pants on. Yeah. Ukweli.
I didn't say it hated.
Yeah, ukweli.
I didn't say it hated.
Yani wacheni haraka my G's. Wacheni haraka, please. Figure out who you are. Get you some money. And then, because remember you're going out onto the street to pick someone and say, wewe, kuja unisumbue. That's what you're doing. Yeah. And when you have children with somebody, tunaomba that it lasts forever.
Of course.
When it's not that, it's not worth doing. No.
That's crazy because I remember seeing on one of your TikToks, you came out and you're very hard on status and provision.
Yes.
It is essential that when a man picks a woman and puts him in his home, you provide for this person. But status is something that it was built. Class and status ni kitu ilijengwa.
Yes.
Haikuwa.
Yes. Those are people's ideas.
But how would you feel DNA? Your status going, because DNA, and then DNA napanda mat. DNA amepeleka mtu hii public school.
What? None of those things are new to me. Talk to me. I'll break it down for you.
Oh shit, tell me.
Like for me, you see, when I'm telling guys say no to status games, I'm talking from a personal experience. COVID was crazy. Yeah. So COVID was two sides. There's guys who COVID iliwainua, and there's guys who COVID iliwafungia. Me, I was doing outdoor events at the time.
Yeah.
Both by way of being an artist and the business I was running.
Yeah.
So the premise for business, yani ile meza si ukalia ndio tufanye kazi ilitolewa because mko ndani ya nyumba through the darkness.
Okay.
And there was a hard reset on my life. Very hard. And I would say it's like I started life again.
Okay.
And I realized very quickly that a lot of the things I was doing I had no business doing. But bado unashikilia na my hopes na my dreams. What that does is that it recalibrates your mind, unakuwa msewa kuishi kubahatisha, and it becomes normal to you. So when I say like status games, this thing you're saying of DNA Mazi was here, now he's here, it's because money is your value system. Remove money from being your value system. Become godly.
Okay.
You are you with or without money. If I came here in a pair of shorts, t-shirt ya 100 bob, bado mini DNA. Unless I allow you guys to convince me that I see DNA juu ya hii t-shirt yako. Now, when money is not the center post of my life, my true value, and I have value with or without money. Of course, men must have money.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hey, a man without money.
Man without money, bro, itakuonyesha maneno.
Umesikia?
Itakudishi. And not your dad's money, not your mom's money.
Your money, yeah.
Actually, for the 99% of people, your parents' money will destroy you. Get out of stop sucking on your mama titty, bro. Get out of your parents' provision and figure out what life is. So being famous comes with a barrier to maturity.
Okay. Because you're taken care of.
Even if you're not taken care of, people pamper you psychologically. Hata msem famous mwenye amebeat ukimkuta kwa hizi bando ndogo he's somebody kwa base ya kegu msem
atabaiwa na mtu
because to that class of people he has come down from the heavens. Unacheki? So people, fame stops growth. So it keeps you at a certain mental age. You stop moving forward. That's why I'm telling you, mse amesota but amejifungia kwa nyumba. Juu wase watasemaje hii jina yangu. The day I took all those things nikafunga kwa karatasi ya green, nikatupa kwa latrine. My life started again. So how you feel about me is how you feel about me.
I like that.
I don't care. For real, I don't care. I've said no to status games. Materialism is the first thing you must be able to reject for you to become yourself.
Yeah.
You must accept your true position. When I tell you about like, this is who you are, now this is who you are, you're looking at it, if you look at it the right way, you can say this is a lesson. Yesterday I had 1 million, today I have 100. What did they do? Nilichomea wapi? But when you look at it from the lens of, bro, I was this guy, no, I'm not this guy. You have to keep on appearances. Ujeke kwa magroup za so wako na do, ndio ukae bado uko fiti. You use your little money to keep up appearances. And that's what's leading to all this deleting, the stress, the suicide because of that.
Yeah.
Mimi kitu nilifika siku moja nikasema, either kichwa itabust, ama nitakuwa tu msem true.
Tabidi.
Nikasema wacha nikuwe msem true. And I put everything aside. I played a game called Deserted Island last year, but 1 October. I removed everybody and everything from my life. Food, water, my children, everything. Ikabaki ni mimi. Because I said, bro, I'm a fool of a very high caliber.
Okay.
For me to have reached here, considering where I have been.
Yeah, and the work that you have done.
And the work that I've done. Not to say ati nilikuwa flat chini. I would say I was asset rich, cash poor. You know?
Yeah.
Na hizi shamba si mkate, bro. Unaweza uko na mashamba 1 million title deeds zimepangana kwa meza hivi, unaziangalia hivi maze naona kitu maze. But before you dispose them and turn them into cash, you see. So that when I played Deserted Island, I really sat with myself, removed all the needs. I tried to, all the needs, food, clothing, shelter, women. Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? Very difficult journey, and everybody thinks you're crazy. My rich friends are trying to throw stuff at me. Bro, maze, hey, tufanye hivi, but hapana, ikiwa lazima ishi.
I like that.
And with that, I found who I was. I started onboarding people again slowly. My children, my friends, and now my onion is complete. I know who my guys are on the inside.
And even now you've forgotten some people, the fans, because now you're on TikTok. People can access you. They can still feed off of your energy and of what you're putting out.
But I don't do it for them. Use my voice to find your voice.
Okay.
Yeah, playing to the gallery is a big mistake. Don't make well for me, because me, I'm playing the authenticity game. I'm not the best, I'm not the tallest, I'm not the richest, I'm not the cutest, but I can be the realest.
Like that.
Hey, hapo hawezi nishika. Being the realest, I can be the realest.
I like that.
Mkisikia ile muziki naenda kutoa sasa hivi unasema ukweli, you'll cry.
I like that.
So,
it's about time we get that.
And when I put out a video about status games, nini, school fees, and then the video is getting millions of views, I get DMs from big people, even from other countries. I'm like, so kila msana umia na story.
Hakuna mtu anasema.
But hakuna msana ibonga. Wacha mimi ni ibonge. Mtanicheka juu nimesema ukweli yangu. Good for you. Haina mambo. I know what I'm building. And now I can walk openly. I don't owe anybody lies.
I like that.
Yeah.
Man, there comes a time when you have to be true to yourself and true to where you are as a person.
It's terrible when you see like when Catherine Kasavuli passed on.
Yeah.
Hizo ni nini?
That broke my heart personally.
Mtu ame contribute. Mtu amefanya vitu za maana, alafu unaona mabigi hapo wanabonga mabig words na masuti zao za 300 Gs. But somebody went down in flames. Mwenzenyu mkiona. And because of status games tunakufa na shida zetu. Why?
Do you feel like it's a problem for people in the media industry, or is it a common problem for everyone? You see, for the media industry, juu unajulikana tayari. Labda kule Geshagi, uko kwa village, kuna kamtu kalikuwa the hot one, but we don't know.
Yeah.
But it's something very, very common. The Kadenge, when we were talking about Kadenge, the story was there. Every time we hear a musician going to hospital, an actor, someone who's been in the media, it's always pleading for help.
Yes, because you stayed with the problem until it became an emergency. Ili escalate. Unacheki? If you deal with things on time, it's so easy. This thing I'm doing now, me telling guys, stop playing this game, it will hurt you like it hurt me. Niliecha watoi waende kwa place yenye mimi sikuwa na sustain, it can affect over the long term. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Unaishi kwa keja how afford, mimi nishaidu hivyo, don't do it. I've done it early. When I meet guys in the street and they've been seeing my TikToks, nobody's coming at me expecting me to drop 10 G's on them like I used to. Ile brother niko mbaya. So now I've said no bro hapana.
Hata mimi sina.
Tuache hiyo story ya status games man. Tuishi tu vile tunafaa. The freedom that comes with that means I'll never be on that side. You'll never, I know there are guys who wish they would love to see me messed up. Ile when mwali nimeka pay bill nasema it will never happen.
Amen.
Not because I'm so good or I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
Because my today right now is my reality.
I like that.
Yeah, I'd rather sort out anybody I've ever owed money. I'd rather deal with that than try to pretend to be somebody I'm not. And when you say those things, guys want to go to the position of, mtu ako vibaya, siko vibaya, by the way.
Uko true.
Siko vibaya. And my current position is actually pretty neat. I'm not going to lie. But I had to go to my zero to come from my zero to a better position. So mazee wacheni kuumia bro. You guys are drinking yourselves to death. You guys are popping pills. Nyinyi sasa mko jaba daily mazee. And the root of that is not even addiction. You're stressed. And you're stressed because you have society's voice in your head. Remove society's voice from your head. Useme brother mi ndio maisha mi niko sahi. Society will always have expectations. This is true. But anybody who has ever built long-term wealth started from this position I am in, a position of truth. In your level tuko. Leo tuko na 1,000, tunacheza na 1,000. Kesho tuko na 10K, tunacheza na 10K. But never an unrealistic position. Girls have more of an advantage. Girls can play it off. For a time. But girls, the payoff on the back end is more than, you guys pay more than
the
us.
price we have to pay is higher.
It's too crazy being a 40-year-old lady mwenye hajajipanga. A 40-year-old guy mwenye hajajipanga can wake up and say, bro, let me be a new person.
A woman can't.
It's much more difficult.
It is. Unless you just decide to reinvent. It's a whole quagmire of things. I know you've always had that big question of how well you worked with the government when you supported the government. There's a time you supported the government.
Oh, heavily.
You worked with the government.
Yeah.
Would you do the same now?
Oh, man. So the first time I worked with the government was Kibaki's campaign. That was interesting. At first I was like, whatever. I didn't really care.
Okay.
But it was an opportunity of a lifetime. And I got to now sit with politicians and see another world I'd never seen. Seen vijana wangong. My parents are not from poverty, but this is levels.
Yeah, because government they control.
Like you're sitting on the beach, there's a nice drink in front of you. Joho is here. Kiunjuri is here. That's not ngong. You know what I mean?
that's matatu za 111 aziko huko.
So hiyo kitu inafanya nasema, hey bro, okay, this is new, this is interesting. So I got to see the inner workings, but the texture of who I am as a person, it's not something I would do. Last elections, I really campaigned for Wajakoya.
You did?
Nobody paid me. And so everybody was like, bro, I even did a song. Man, I got pneumonia. I nearly died making Wajakoya. I've published it.
I think I didn't catch it, but no.
I nearly died because of this song.
Karibu ukufe na sisi tutaisikia.
Nilikuwa kwa Kaggia maze. Nilikuwa kwa Kaggia kwa studio. So nilikuwa nimemake studio yangu. Me, I'm an authoritarian, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm more like my grandfather than like my father. So studio yangu ukiingia una knock. I'd even trained the dog. to wait at the door. Nini naweza yambia kama ingie. So sleeping on the floor of the studio for nights trying to catch a vibe. Yani, what's the song for right now?
For Wajakoya.
Maze alafu vibe ikakam. But I had spent so many nights in the studio. Nilimaliza hiyo song kama nimeenda hosi.
And
I never even met the guy. I never got to meet Wajakoya. I met Justina. What I think now of politics is that there's two kinds of people.
Okay.
There's people who do anything to get what they want. And then there's people who are not like that. Politicians are in the class of people who do anything to get what they want. Then there's the rest of us.
Yeah.
And that's why the rest of us, hauaminingi yani msi ako na billion na anaweza iba. To you, it doesn't make sense.
For me, it's very normal. I come from a school of thought where I can have everything. It doesn't, that shit is not blurry to me. What shocks me is that, as you said, I remember there's one time I went on a date, and I think OMC Aliji cancelled within the first 3 minutes. A guy used to work at a bank, and I told him, guy, no, just say, helicopter na cost 42M. Ako, guy. And he was in shock that it costed 42 million shillings. But I'm like, you work at a bank, you've seen these numbers before. You know that?
Small mind.
You know, because I'm like, my issue was you work at a bank.
You've experienced this. Yeah.
So kwa nini unaona ni impossible?
Was it only mse mwenye ungemkalia mbaya. Ungekatsiana.
Niliona tu within the first few minutes story nisha. But I understand what you're saying. A lot of people don't see that you can have it all.
Yeah, and the guys who are willing to do anything are the politicians. Like somebody who will come and lie to you in your face and
even
you, bro.
Kill.
So this is the thing, and that normal people don't understand. There's somebody who has a million shillings who would kill you for 1,000 shillings. Yes. Like, I have 1 million, but I can have 1 million and 1,000. You're in the way of me getting the 1,000. Nitakuondoa. You see, that is the kind of people who make it very far in a materialistic world, because they don't have the barriers of morality, of inafaa kuwa hivi, of ini pesa ya mraia, of umesimama juu ya lori umeambia in the first 100 days akisha sainio kitu amesoea mazenyi mmekuwa history maze. So would I work with government forces now?
Yeah.
If I can make a contribution, yes. If Ababu Namamba called me and said, my G, come to Chongei Kitu, I'll pick up the call.
Okay.
But beyond that, I don't know.
You don't know, because been there, done that.
But the government of the day sasa ukipigana nao inakuwaga noma. Unless you're picking up opposition checks.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be different.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What is the one biggest message that you'd wish the younger DNA knew? I feel like you've said it again and again in this whole thing, but is there any other extra message the younger DNA would have known?
Relax. It will be fine. As Jean tells me.
Yeah.
Bro, relax. In the end, it will be okay. If it is not okay, it is not the end. Truly, I worried too much. Una worry. Na bado tu hata ukiworry change kitu yoyote. I would tell myself, bruh, relax. And forgive yourself and treat yourself like somebody you respect and admire.
Yeah.
I've been too hard on myself when I goof. That's perfectionism. That's from my mom's side. She's very dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So when I mess up, I really go too hard on myself.
Okay.
And then I pass that same, this is what I was saying about relationships. That hard I am on myself.
You expect.
I'm also hard on other people. And it's unfair. So I'll tell myself to relax and to forgive myself and to treat myself the way I treat other people. Nilikuwa na hiyo ugonjwa ya second class citizenry. Wanaume, tumekuwa mapunda to the point where yani we mwenyewe you're a second class citizen. You give yourself last instead of giving yourself first.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I think men should give themselves last. Give your family first.
No. Let me explain to you. See this?
Yeah.
This is me. This is the mother of my children and my children.
Yeah.
When I come home with this, I have something to put here.
Yes.
When I'm wearing a nice shirt, when I have a nice car, when I'm happy, I will infect my family with that. When you start with empty, trying to fill this other way, you end up running on fumes, and then you become emotional. And when you're emotional, you lose. Because when you're emotional with a woman, you're done. You're done. You're done. I can't even believe I used to argue with women. I was such a fool. Oh my God, nilikuwa mujinga. Because you become emotional.
What were you arguing about?
You see, when you have pressure, everyone sets you off.
Yes.
Your lady will say something that is absolutely in good faith, but itapiga twisting. But pia nyi madem, muko na predatory nature.
Yeah.
You crush the weak. It's not even a bad thing. It's not even women. It's nature. It's nature. You crush the weak. So when you pull up now, uko funny, uko iffy, you'll get into it with your lady. Alafu mki exchange maneno, we mjinga umeanza kutumia maneno na unaongea na mwanamke. Usha lose. So I think that a man should pour from a place of fullness. I think when I say that a man should start with himself, first he has to stop playing status games.
Okay.
And you can openly say, kwa ithao, ya family, so mbili ni yangu. Ukingia home umedunda. And you know, men, automatically we want, okay, let me not say all. Because for every case of a guy who has been done by a chick, there's a chick who has been done by a guy. There's a chick who kept herself pure until she was 25.
She went to school. She never slept with anybody. Then she marries this guy, and then this guy anamjaza watoi alafu anamtoka. I know that is there. It's all in equal measure, by the way.
I can only speak on my experience. From my experience, when a man is full, he automatically pours into his family. But when you're playing status games, when you're living in society's image, you are empty, trying to make others full. And that's where the messes come from. So men should take care of themselves and accept their standard of life. Men should be bold enough to tell their ladies and their babies, tuko hivi na hivi.
Kubaya.
Gaga tunatoka runda tunaingia gashie. Na mdu vile mtadu. But even ndivyo tunafanya. Na kama unashindwa kuambia dem yako hivyo, you have a problem. Na kama uko na dem anashindwa kukubali hivyo, you have the wrong woman. So the untangling of the messes we've done is so painful.
Yeah.
Most people don't have the balls to do it. Those who do will live in heaven like me. Bonus fear.
Amen.
Let's go.
The name is DNA. The name is DNA. Dennis Wawero Kaggia. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment on the POV podcast, KE, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on Spotify. We're on all platforms. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Call him Mr. Wawero if you want to sign him a check. That's all for today. Till next time, stay tuned to the POV podcast.